Recording in progress.
Let us look at this way. When you look at these universal values, if one value comes in my life, all other values have to follow because all are interlinked. The first one that we saw, amanitvam, because wherever there is manam, there is problem. And to protect my manam, I need to have dambham. And of course, when I have to establish my strength, I have to do himsa. So it starts with manam, it leads to dambham, and further it goes to himsa, whatever we saw till now. And when there is manam, or wherever there is manam, there is problem. We have a beautiful story long back we had discussed. I hope you remember the story. So that there was a sculptor could create statues alive. So people used to mesmerize, used to get confused whether it is really a real person or the statue. So he was that great. And of course, was sadhu came and mesmerized seeing this, uh, art, and said, "Look, there is something going to happen, sad thing in your life. In fact, in few months, you are going to die. Your last moment is going to come in few months. Then what will happen? Please better teach somebody this art so that this will continue." Now this person could not accept it. This is the most sad thing in our life. So we are not able to accept. That's why I'm going to lead this to today value. Then what he did? So he spent all his time creating his replica. So many statues of him he created. Because there is a manam. Now in due time, Yamaraja arrived. In fact, sent his messengers. They were confused. Whom to take? Because in those statues he was also standing, okay? So they were confused because as per the rule, they cannot take a wrong person. You cannot punish a wrong person. They went back. Sorry, there are so many of him and in the same place. So whatever instruction you had given is not going to work. Then Yamaraja himself came down to look at. And he was also shocked. Same place. There are many of him. What to do? Whom to catch? So very nicely, Yamaraja goes, touches one statue, and very nicely says, "Wow, what a statue. The sculpture must be very good, but stupid." Because this nose, actually the super, this nose is something wrong which this sculpture did not know. This is one of the horrible piece. Everything is great, but this nose, there is some issue which is not acceptable. Now, what happens to the person who is standing among all the statues as one statue? Comes out and says, "How can you say this? Please come. Wherever there is manam, there is a problem. So the opposite of manam is called kshama, which is called as here kshanti. So this kshanti, when we look at forbearance, it is, you have to also little bit careful psychologically. Actually, there is not much difference between silently, passively suffering and wisely forbearing. It's exactly like that starving and fasting. So when you starve, also there is no food, and when also you fast, there is no food. But the one who is starving is always craving, whereas the one who is fasting, in fact, cherishing. So also that passively suffering, helplessly suffering, and this kshanti, forbearance, patience, forgiveness are externally, superficially one answer. But one is helpless, ignorantly, other one is with maturity, with a choice. That's why we say very carefully that kshama to be developed, one is supposed to, develop this attitude. We say cultivate this attitude. Because if we do not cultivate, this is not going to work. Because kshama, you cannot forgiving others, you cannot practice. Oh, I am practicing forgiveness. You know, it's not going to work. Now, how this happens, let us look at psychologically. And why we are not able to forgive, why we are not able to develop our patience. Always, I have some trigger in me with reference to people and situation. So there is a trigger. And what sort of trigger? Trigger can be in the form of an insult. It can be injustice or any adversity situation pops up. Now, where you feel that it is not right, you are victimized. Now, when this trigger gets into your system and you are trapped in that whirlpool helplessly, and of course, your people, those who are around you, adds some fuel to it, either being indifferent or working against you aggressively, then what happens to you? Now there is some type of anger in you. So this trigger will get converted into either anger or hurt. Now, when there is anger or hurt, what should I do? I don't have any other choice. So I am in a defending mode or sometime attacking mode because I need to protect. I don't have any other choice. Nobody is protecting me. What to do? Now, when I get into either defending mode or attacking mode, then what happens to me? I start retaliating. So, this retaliation process happens in me, and I feel that it is going to last long. Look, I was growing. Look, I was free. Look, I was enjoying. Now they have stopped my growth, my enjoyment, they have taken away my peace of mind, etc. So what happens? Because of which now there is no gap between me and the situation. And when there is no gap between me and the situation because of this, what we call lack of awareness, now I react unnecessarily. And what could be the outcome? Emotionally, I am destroyed, full of stress. And of course, physically also I'll have different type of disease. Is it clear? So here we say little bit differently. So trigger has to come. Let there be trigger with reference to a person, situation, or with reference to related to object or place. So when there is a trigger, maybe in the form of injustice, insult, no problem. So there we bring the word shanti to create a gap between me and the situation. Whether it is really insulting the person, somebody is insulting me, or has got some other agenda. Really, is the person is doing injustice to me, or some other agenda. So that gap has to be created. And once that gap is created, so I need to reframe my mind. Then how to reframe? I need to look at that situation as not permanent, but what we need to look at, that is impermanent, is temporary. Even this shall pass away. Don't forget this. I remember in our childhood, especially in the schools, we used to be being beaten up. Anything and everything the teachers know. So we will show our hand. Okay, hit, hit, hit. That is how our palms became strong. Okay. And sometimes not one cane, double cane. Okay, two canes together. Tak, 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 tak. Okay. And we learned that time, pranayama, kumbhaka. So completely we'll lock also our, all bandhas, okay? With everything we'll do. Do whatever you want. Then after that, what happens? We will say, I remember, even this shall pass away. How long he can hit? So here you need to look at even this shall pass away. It is not permanent, it is impermanent. And the most important thing is, maybe, not maybe, it is a chance for my growth. So when I reframe my mind, so the situation I look at not as permanent but impermanent, temporary, and it is not there stopping my growth, but it's a chance of growth. Now what will happen? My response, same policy. I won't retaliate. So there will be no retaliation. Like, who is in the room? I have not taken banana. Small example. And of course, when there is no retaliation, mind starts choosing to develop patience. So there is a break. Unnecessarily, I do not accelerate my mind. So when there is no unnecessary acceleration, now the mind develops a sense of delaying, what we call as patience. And that patience, very carefully, with knowledge, converted to forgiveness. Especially when you start seeing the growth in yourself. And because of which, what happens? Earlier you are emotionally disturbed, now you become emotionally calm. Physically maybe disturbed. And of course, your stress will be less. And you will start seeing the growth in yourself. So that's why what you need to do here. We say very carefully that being a discipline, you need to spend some time. Maybe you need to look at or especially read some Puranas, read some inspiring stories. Even if sometimes they are fabricated, don't worry. We have a beautiful concept, as we say, as we know, that a diamond that undergoes lot of pressure, that too for a length of time, and again gets polished only, is costly. But we want to be diamond without pressure, without getting polished. You understand? That's why we remain coal, not diamond. And interestingly, when we start studying different type of Puranas, different stories, we have a beautiful Purana, one of the best. There are many things are there. One of the story which inspired me personally also a lot. That is called King Harishchandra. So there was a king. There are many. In fact, he comes in the lineage of Rama. So Rama, in fact, Rama comes in his lineage, not he comes in the lineage of Rama. It's the other way around. Sorry, okay? Lord Rama was born in that family, okay? Not he was born in Rama's family. It's different. And interestingly, he was being put all sort of test. Being king, that's why we have called Harishchandra Ghat in Kashi, Manikarnika Ghat, this all these things, where he was appointed as, you know, you can say scavenger to burn the bodies, being a king. And finally, his son died, wife comes to burn the son. He says, look, you have to give me money, then only I'll allow you. He said, look, it's your son, our son. He said, no, I am not that person. I am now playing the role of this guarding. I am working for someone. Without money, I cannot do it. And finally, today we are talking about Harishchandra because of Kshanti. Same thing also comes about Dhruva. Just I am giving you different examples, including Rishi Chavanya and Shukanya. That's why the Chavan Pras comes from there. How this Sukanya, how this Rishi Kanya got married to Rishi Chavana, and how patience was being tested. And in short, when we try to read all these stories, there are enough of stories we have. Then we start looking at what we are going through is nothing. In time frame, we are not even if a dot. Just look at yourself. Maybe in your house you are somebody. In your street you are nobody now. Maybe in your street you are somebody. Definitely in your city you are nobody. Maybe in your city you are somebody. Definitely in your province you are nobody. Maybe in province you are somebody. In your country you are nobody. Maybe in your country you are somebody. If you look at in your continent, God knows. Maybe in your continent you are somebody. In global way, who you are. Let us say in globally you are somebody. When you look at this planet, and this planet is part of this solar system, who you are. Maybe you are somebody in this solar system, who you are in this galaxy. I don't want to go further, okay? So in short, I am not even if a dot, but I think I am everything, and everything is falling on my head. That's why developing this word called Kshama Kshanti makes you to calm down, makes you to understand that nothing is permanent. Things will come and go. Let me see the growth. And the growth that is not external but internal. Because the power position that I have, it will not stay long. In fact, it is going to go up very fast, especially when I retire. The body that I am holding on to, that is not going to support that I am proud of this body. The wealth that I have, in fact, when time will come, the food on the table is not important. but the medicine on the table is more important. So when I go through all these things, I need to see my growth. And when I see the growth, I help others to grow. In fact, you will be enjoying your growth when you start seeing others' growth. Because of you, people are growing. That's why all of you are happy with your children. Why? As long as you think, okay, you are part of that child's growth. You understand? The day you discover you are no more part of the child's growth, child, gets a beautiful house, but you are not part of the growth, will you enjoy? Will you cherish? In fact, you will suffer. You understand? That's why allowing yourself to be part of the growth makes you to grow in your life. That only will allow you to develop the sense of patience, that delaying process, not relaying, okay? So you people are when very comfortably we relay, not delay. Keep relaying, okay? Now, when this happens, then comes arjabam ruju swabhamiti, that straightforwardness. And what is that straightforwardness? How it works from this Shanti, that we will see tomorrow. Om Om Purnamada Purnamidam Punna Purnamudachyate Punnasya Punnamadhaya Punnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, all of you.